All right, good afternoon to you from the Storm Alert Weather Center. This is lead forecaster Daniel Wilson. Glad to have you along on this Wednesday afternoon. Beautiful night last night with the big pink moon. Absolutely gorgeous. We thought we were going to get by with nothing at all, and because of the cloud cover, but we were very blessed, to say the least, to have the clouds move out of the way, and we had a lot of moon pictures to take last night, and we now turn our page to severe weather and the fact that we are looking at potential for large hail, damaging hurricane force winds, and the possibility of some tornadic activity here throughout the evening, and some of that is going to take place as we make our way into the early morning hours, especially if you live along and east of Interstate 75. Most people will probably be asleep by the time that some of these storms begin to move through a little bit later on after midnight. It should be taking. I'm gonna check here our Facebook page, make sure that we're going right. There we go. We're in good shape. I'm gonna bring this up where we can see any comments or anything, and we will be available to do all of that for you as we go along. Looking at the timelines for severe weather for tonight, you will begin to see some of the storms starting to fire up into western Kentucky, around the eastern part of Missouri, around Evansville, Indiana. Those storms will continue to track off to the southeast, and as you can see, the Boeing segments, or the areas that kind of have a bow appearance. That is some of the areas that would be indicative of very strong thunderstorm winds. In fact, the information that we're telling you, hurricane force winds, are the same thing that the National Weather Service talked about during their 1 o'clock update today, a conference call. So you can see this is the radar, the future radar at 10 o'clock tonight. Now, as we make our way into the 11 o'clock hour, we can see the thunderstorms begin again to transition back off to the southeast, and some of those storms will likely be severe. We will likely see severe thunderstorm or potential tornado watches later on this evening. And as you can see, again, this is an estimated time, 11 o'clock, around the E-Town area and areas to the south and southwest of Bowling Green and along west of Interstate 65. That's at 11 o'clock tonight. Now, as we move into midnight and the new day tomorrow, we can see those storms begin to move in closer to the Lake Cumberland area and the Green River area, which we cover mainly, but we do discuss a lot of weather for other places as well. So there you can see the storms beginning to move into south central Kentucky, running from a line from about Lexington down through Berea along 127. That would take it over into Green, Hart County, and back off to Simpson, Tompkinsville, Monroe County, and eventually into the Lake Cumberland area. Now that's at midnight at 1 o'clock in the morning. This will be on Thursday morning. We can see the storms begin to move out of the area, but the western or the eastern part of the state could see severe weather as well. And this is a key that everybody needs to have your weather radio in operation and be prepared in the event that severe weather is issued for you. We would like to remind you with the COVID situation, kind of hard to believe that we're faced with anything like that. That may change the outlook on gathering in a storm cellar, but we do need to be aware of where to go if severe weather is issued later tonight or into the morning hours. All right, as we make our way into the afternoon, I'd like to remind folks to please share this video. I'd like for you to share the video and make sure that you tell people what is going on. Facebook sometimes limits the amount of people that can see our videos, and it's up to you to share them. That way we can get the word out about impending and approaching severe weather across the area. Two things that you need to have in your arsenal. One is a NOAA weather radio, and the other is a tornado alert device. And I know a lot of people, I get slammed all the time for talking about it, but it is something that works. We have another testimony in around McMinnville, Tennessee, something that I found out today. A gentleman had about a 20-minute, well, actually a little bit more than that, almost a 30-minute advance warning from a tornado that went through Sparta, Tennessee, confirmed. There was damage and everything. This device will show lightning. It'll show if it's a non-severe storm. I don't know if you can see that. It will show if it is a severe storm and flash a strobe and make a siren sound. It will also display a tornado risk, and I don't know if you can see that. A tornado risk, as well as a tornado. And I'm not sure if you can see the display on that, but that is something that everybody needs. The good thing about it, I'm going to be one of the dealers in this area. If you're out of town, probably by next week, I'll have my official paperwork and being able to start take orders. If you're in Russell Springs, Kentucky, go by and see my friends at Ace Hardware. I'm not sure if they still have them at the moment, but Ace Hardware in Russell Springs does have the tornado alert for Russell Springs. If you're outside the area, I'll be able to take some orders coming up, hopefully within the next week or so. But the other thing you need, a good phone app. One of the things that I use is the weather radio, and that is a phone app by WDT, and it works extremely well for severe weather warnings. If you want to follow the latest thing as far as the radar goes, I'm going to bring up the velocity mode. This is actually out of Knoxville. I'm not going to try to take it to Jackson, but that shows you where some of the storms are now in eastern Kentucky. So if you have the WDT weather alert radio on your phone, radar scope on your phone, and if you have your NOAA weather radio properly programmed, and your tornado alert device, that will get you ahead of the storm. We are someone that believes in the NOAA weather radio. You need that for warnings or for watches, even warnings, flood watches, your forecast, those type of things. The NOAA weather radio is still beneficial, but 95% accurate, the tornado alert device. Let's take a look now at some of the some of the activity going on in the state. And I'll bring that up here. We have several severe thunderstorm warnings that are in effect as we speak at this hour. It's a little bit after 3 o'clock Central Time. We have a severe thunderstorm watch that's for extreme eastern Kentucky. That would be around Moorhead, Mount Sterling, over at Sandy Hook, Pikeville, Paintsville. Those areas are under a severe thunderstorm watch, and that will expire at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. This here is a severe thunderstorm watch around Salyersville, and that's severe thunderstorm warning rather around Salyersville until about a quarter after the hour. And if you're over in eastern Kentucky, some of the areas that would be affected, it looks like around Salyersville, Oil Springs, the Swamp Branch community, and of course Riceville is right in that area over in Magoffin County. That's about 5 or 6 miles east of West Liberty. So there is the severe thunderstorm watch. That is for eastern Kentucky. And again, that is in effect until 8 o'clock Eastern Time this Wednesday afternoon and early evening. Now, as far as the weather situation in the rest of the state, we have a little thunderstorm that's popped up in the area of Fayette County along the I-75 corridor just to the north of Nicholasville. That would be in Fayette County, and that is a moderate thunderstorm that has developed in Fayette County as we speak, and that's the only thing really back to the east of 70 or to the west of 75 that we can comment on. Now, if we look back at the national picture, you can see a severe thunderstorm watch for parts of Missouri, and this severe thunderstorm watch includes areas not only in Missouri but also Illinois. And this is part of the same activity that's going to be moving through our area later on, and that expires at 9 o'clock Central Time this Wednesday evening. So a lot to think about and a lot to keep in mind. Again, severe weather is likely this evening, and we want to tell you to please hit the share button on your computer, on the Facebook, and get the word out that severe weather is likely. And we will be here throughout the evening and the early morning hours tomorrow, if necessary. I'd like to thank Joe Brown's Auto Body in Columbia. I'm going to give him another plug, even though we are live. I want to show you here live. Joe Brown Auto Body in Columbia, repair and towing at 384-0422. 384-0422. If you need any type of towing activity done, repair work, Joe Brown is the guy to do it. Joe and me worked together through Summit Shoreline Communications back a long time ago, and Joe is a good friend of mine, and I do appreciate him for all that he does. Let's see, I'm going to look on the people ask about Sano. This is all the area, folks. All the areas under this. I'm scrolling through some of the comments to see if there's anybody have a question or anything. Let's see, how much are they? Right now, we're looking at somewhere in the $80-$85 range. This is something that I'm going to have I have to charge according to the contract. This is not a figure that I come up with, but we will be getting up with you on that and releasing the price on the tornado alert. In fact, I want to say one more thing about it. I'd had the tornado alert about probably a week, and still I hadn't said anything about it. But we had a tornado warning issued for Metcalfe County, and I had the warning on the tornado alert, I believe, around 18 minutes before the National Weather Service. This will detect storms out to 30 miles. So if there's a storm that comes through, one bar will light up that shows it's 30 miles away, and the closer the storm, the more bars that you have on your tornado display. So you're looking somewhere around $80. Let's see, Ace Hardware, Somerset got any? I don't know anybody in Somerset that has one, that has them for sale. Let's see, James, you're funny, I'm telling you. But I think we all love people with a good sense of humor. Now, people that wants to talk mean and bad. In fact, I had to block somebody from the page the other day for some very crude comments, and I'm not going to tolerate that. But those that wants to be a little bit on the funny side, if you know me very well, I'm a comical person. Jason, absolutely not on the Purdy people to seek shelter. That is not true, and I do not appreciate that comment at all. That is not what this platform is about. We don't give false information. All right, let's see. And Denton Dunn says it's always supposed to hit when it's late and when people are in bed. And you know, that is true. Sometimes it does happen. That's why you need some way of getting yourself woke up and knowing what to do and where to go in the event that a severe thunderstorm or a tornado is issued. I'm going to play the radar here real quick and let you see what's going on while I make some put another graphic on here to show where the shelters are. And I had failed to do such, but I wanted to share with you those locations in Russell Springs. I think I do have those for you. Yep, I do have those, and here they are. This is Atrium Bottom gave me this information. Of course, it's available everywhere. The South Russell Fire Department on the Dixon Cemetery Road. The Russell County Rescue Squad, they're on 127. Poplar Grove at 76 and 127. Eli Fire Department, that'll be at the Parks Ridge Road. The Esto Community, that'll be around Highway 92. The Jabez Community at 117 Red Oak Road. And the Russell Springs Fire Department on West Highway 80. And the Courthouse Annex Building on the Square in Columbia. I'm assuming these places will still be open, even though we have the coronavirus going on. I'm assuming that those places will still be open. I want to look one more time to see if we have any more questions or anything anybody wants to add or mention this evening. Looks like we're pretty good as far as information. James Justice asked about how loud they are. Let me show you. That is the only drawback to them. I think they need a little louder siren. Some people may have a difficulty hearing it with the high pitched siren. Some people says it's super loud. It has to boot up first, and I'll show you. But the main thing is, if you have severe weather, is not to go to sleep. I mean, if we have a severe weather event, you should stay alert to that. So there's the sound that it makes. And the siren is back here in the back of it. So that will give you an idea of how those work. And I appreciate that comment. All right, so with all that being said, we want to say thank you for tuning in. Tell people to like and share the video to get the information out that we do have severe weather threat this evening. And most of that activity will be in the evening hours after you've gone to bed, probably after midnight. Let's go through those timelines real quickly before we go by. Right here, 10 o'clock tonight. This will be in the western part of the state. This will be still several miles away from us. Western part of Kentucky. You'll see the storms beginning to fire up between Louisville and Madisonville down through Hickman and Murray, Kentucky, Paducah. And those storms will start to come in the land between the lakes. That's around 10 o'clock this evening. Real quickly at 11 o'clock, about another hour later from that, you will see the storms begin to go into west central Kentucky. And that should be sufficient to include the Bowling Green area. So you can see the general area of where the storms are expected to fire. Again, this is speculation based on weather data. This is at 11 o'clock tonight. And then as we go into the midnight hour on Thursday, we will see the storms continuing to track through into the Lake Cumberland Green River area. And those storms are likely to be severe. Again, winds 75 plus mile an hour, hail 2 inches in diameter, and flooding threat pretty low. But we do have a chance that we could have a tornado or two throughout this area. And again, this is the projected radar at midnight tonight. And then as we go into the 1 a.m. hour, we'll see the storms begin to infect more parts of eastern Kentucky as they move into parts of Virginia and West Virginia. So you can see how that all will play out as we make our way into tomorrow. All right, thank you all very much for tuning in to the Storm Alert Center. By the way, it is an official business. We have our paperwork. We are official business. The Storm Alert Center in Russell Springs. We're glad to have you along. We hope that you'll tune in tonight if when weather gets bad, we will break in and let you know the latest in weather information. Thank you all for tuning in, and we appreciate your confidence as we go into this severe weather event.